Good morning again. Good morning again. Yes, all right. So I'm going to ask that if you're able, to rise for the singing of Lift Every Voice and Sing by Oakland University student Anaya Gray.
Dark past has taught us. Oh, sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. Oh, if they sing the rising sun of a new day. Thank you.
You may be seated. All right, the vibe is good. Yes. Well, I am happy to be here with you today. And I see some friends. Good to see you. Thank you. And I see some family. It's good to see family that showed up. Thank you for coming out and supporting. And I'm wondering how many of you are first-timers to the Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award celebration. First-timers, if you would just say love for me. First-timers, say love. Thank you, thank you. Some of you have been here for a number of years. Those are my returners to Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award celebration, 33 years. And if you're returning, and this is not your first time, third, fourth, 10th, 20th time, let me hear you say truth. Truth. Words are important. Words matter. Words have power. The words that we say to ourselves is important. The words that we say to others, they may bring magic, because the words that you share may have an impact on someone else. Just as Dr. King's words to this day still continue to resonate with us. There are some things that the world cannot give you, and you can find it inside of you. The world cannot give you, nor can it take it away. And if you would look inside yourself and develop and nurture that inner voice, the voice that you communicate with yourself all the time, spend some time getting to know it and really listen in. That voice will guide you to the place where you need to be. I'm so happy to be here at Oakland University. I am Omar Brownell. I am the Senior Director for the Center for Multicultural Initiatives. And I have the honor every day of working with marvelous students, young people, who not only encourage me, but they inspire me with their energy, their talent, their efforts. It's an amazing place to be when you're around such talent, such wonderful ideas. And I'm so happy to be here today to celebrate 7 magnificent students. 7 students who have gone through a process to be in front of you today through their hard work, their dedication, their energy, their effort, the support of their family, the support of their faculty, and the support of their staff. And I'm very pleased to announce those students to you later in our program. But T, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for your kindness and your sincerity. Thank you. Fatumata, thank you for sharing with us your culture. Thank you for sharing with us your family here today. We certainly appreciate you. Aaliyah, thank you for all that you've contributed to our campus. I had a student come up to me the other day and said, I'm coming to the Keeper of the Dream because I know Aaliyah, she's in the dance program, and I'm a first-year student, and I'm inspired by her. You never know who's watching. Continue to do what it is that you do. Mackenzie, so happy for you. I've known your family before you even got here. There are members of them who are here, and I'm happy that you're here and sharing in this experience that we can share with you. Amaya, thank you for your energy. Every day you're present with that energy, and it is overflowing, and we certainly appreciate it. Amber, your family as well. I knew your uncle. He's sitting right over here before you even became a student at Oakland University. I know some family members back there waving because they happy. Nia, my Flintstone. I'm from Flint, Nia from Flint. I'm happy that I got a Flintstone up here. Yes, you're making Flint proud. I appreciate that. Keep up the good work. This is going to be a great day. We're going to celebrate today. This is Dr. King Day, and we're going to hear the words that are spoken, and we're going to allow those words to take root with us, to be nurtured by those words. The words of our students, the words of those who are going to come before you and speak. Take it in, listen. Even if you've heard it before, this time might be different. This might be the time that you needed it to happen at this place, at this day, at this hour. And it resonates with you different, and your whole trajectory changes. So thank you for being here with us to celebrate Dr. King Day. Happy Dr. King Day to all of you. At this time, I'd like to get our program started by asking our president, Dr. Orahurst Peskovitz, to come to the stage to give us a few remarks. Dr. Orahurst Peskovitz.
Well, thank you so much, Omar. And welcome to the Oakland University community, our students, our faculty, our staff, and of course, our friends. The new friends who are here for the first time, and those of you who have been coming for 33 years. We're thrilled that all of you are here. We really appreciate that you're spending this very, very special day with us. We want you to know that this gathering is an annual event where we honor these incredible, amazing students who you just heard about. Our students whose character and concern for humanity distinguishes them as keepers of the dream, a dream that was articulated by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Lincoln Memorial in August of 1963. And I had the privilege, of course, of sitting there on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on that day. And I, like thousands of others, know that that dream is a dream that continues to resonate across American history. Why? Because it is a dream that is sending us a timeless message, a message of love, a message of hope, a message of action in the name of a moral purpose, a dream that illuminates our hearts, a dream that clarifies a common purpose, a dream that clarifies a path to work for peace, for justice, for understanding, for righteousness, and for equality for all people. You know, we're living in a time when many people question the values and the principles that are inherent in diversity, equity, and inclusion. But we here at Oakland University stand together unflinchingly in support of the engagement, representation, and participation of different groups of individuals on our campus community, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of ethnicity, regardless of gender, sexual orientation, disability, or age. And we stand, thank you. And we stand committed to these principles of diversity, equity, and inclusion, in spite of the fact that many others across our country are challenging these principles now. Why do we do this? Because we appreciate that diversity is at the heart of education, and we are an educational institution. And we understand that this is necessary for building a better world, something that we and our amazing students tremendously understand. So today, we honor Dr. King and those like our students who are following in Dr. King's legacy. As I look around at this room, and I'm thrilled that so many of you came out in spite of the cold weather, I am just so proud that so many of us strive to live our lives according to the principles of nonviolence, understanding, and friendship. I'd like to extend a very special note of appreciation to our amazing and incredibly talented keynote speaker, Anika Noni Rose. Please give her a round of applause. Anika, we can't wait to hear from you. And along with millions of others, I would know your voice anywhere. And of course, Anika, it's not just your voice. It's your achievements and your character that have elevated you as a role model to so many others, from all of our students and the adults. And I know that a few people, including one of our trustees, brought his yet very young daughter to meet you here today. You're not just a princess, but you're truly a role model for so many. And we're really grateful that you chose to come here to Oakland University on this very special day of the year. And of course, I would also like to thank our sponsors, whose generosity is one of the key things that supports this Keeper of the Dream event. Your ongoing friendship, our important donors and sponsors, makes this event possible, and it is central to us here at Oakland University. So thank you to our program sponsors, Oakland University Credit Union, thank you, and Corewell Health, and also to Magna, our benefactor sponsor. And thank you to our high achievement scholarship sponsors, Comerica and Whirlpool. We are also so appreciative of our scholarship sponsors, the Lynn and Leah McIntosh and Lynn A. McIntosh Memorial, along with the OU Alumni Association and the OU Black Alumni Chapter and Priority Health sponsors. And thank you to our vision sponsor, First State Bank. And thank you to our Unity sponsor, Oakland's School of Nursing. And thank you to DTE, our Student Retention Scholarship Fund sponsor. And of course, a very special thank you to Omar Brown L. It is through your work and dedication, Omar, that this event is really made possible. You and the Center for Multicultural Initiative really is what makes this possible. You and, of course, Glenn McIntosh, our Chief Diversity Officer, make this event all happen. So let's give all of them a tremendous round of applause. And as you've already heard, the event is really about our 7 remarkable students who today are going to receive the 33rd Annual Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. And you're going to hear about each of them in more detail. Omar already gave you a snapshot, but you're going to hear about more of them in a little bit. Students, I know some of you, but I read all of your bios, and I just have to tell you, I am blown away about what I've learned about each one of you. And I have come away so encouraged and inspired because I know that you are the future leaders of America. And when I learned about you, I have learned that America's future is so promising because of you. So thank you for being an inspiration to me personally and to every person in this room. I am so very proud. And now I'm going to turn it back over to Omar. Congratulations to you, my amazing students.
Thank you, President Peskovich, for those wonderful remarks. And again, to all of our sponsors, thank you for all that you have contributed to this day. At this time, it is a distinguished honor that I get to present the 7 Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Awards to 7 deserving students. But I'd like to give you just a note about how this all came to be. So each year, the university announces that the application for the award is available to students. And that goes out to the entire campus community. For those students who have a 3.0 or better, who have leadership positions here on campus and who have improved race relations at Oakland University, are asked to apply. The students submit that application along with a letter of multiple letters of recommendation, an essay. Once those materials are submitted and they've all met the criteria, then those students are then required to go through an interview. After that interview is concluded, 4 members of our team make the final decision as to whom would receive the award each year. And these 7 distinguished students rose to the top through that intensive process that now allows them to receive the Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. So this is truly a designation to be recognized here at Oakland University. At this time, we're going to begin the presentation. T. Hong. And I'm going to read their bios because this information is noteworthy. So just bear with me here because these students deserve this recognition on this day. As the daughter of Vietnamese refugees, T empathizes with challenges that minorities face. In fact, she intends to dedicate her life to advocating for a more equitable future for them. This work has already begun here at Oakland University, where T is working at the Golden Grizzly Pantry to support students facing financial insecurities. She is also a calculus tutor, a human anatomy teaching assistant, and a gender and sexuality center volunteer. Off campus, T serves as an emergency department ambassador at Ascension, as a physical therapy technician with team rehabilitation, as a volunteer with World Medical Relief. Her goal is simple: to always strive to better the lives of those around her. Our honoree is majoring in studio art and clinical and diagnostic sciences, and has used her art to share stories of underrepresented minorities. Most notably, her series, Telling Asian Stories, which spotlights microaggressions and racism against Asian Americans, has reached millions of people and has won the Congressional Art Competition not once, but twice. As a teaching assistant for Christopher Kahn, special lecturer in the Department of Biological Sciences, Hong has applied her convictions to teaching and learning. T is an intelligent and compassionate person who possesses attributes which are necessary to become a conscientious future leader in healthcare and an advocate of societal change, Kahn says. She will pioneer meaningful change in her leadership, unwavering positivity, and a focus on uplifting marginalized communities. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would turn your attention to the video screens, we will hear more from T in her own words.
Winning the Keeper of the Dream Award is such an incredible honor and gives me the resources to continue working towards a more compassionate and understanding world, inspired by the vision of Dr. King and of those who came before me. Keeping the dream means holding resilience in the face of adversity, and this recognition is testament to that. I'm inspired to break down cultural barriers by my parents, who escaped war and devastation to come to this country to give me the privilege to pursue an education they couldn't. They taught me that building unity between communities isn't just important, it is necessary to create lasting change. As a first-generation Vietnamese American, I have often felt isolated and misunderstood by my peers, which has fueled my determination to create spaces where everyone feels capable and valued. I implement this philosophy as a teaching assistant for the Human Anatomy Laboratories. This is the first extremely challenging course all aspiring medical professionals must take, and I noticed that students of color, and immigrant students in particular, struggle with the rigorous material, and it shakes their confidence in their abilities and their self-worth. I adapt my material to their needs and emphasize that they are not alone, they are capable, and our population deserves diverse, passionate providers that reflect the communities they serve. Dr. King's vision of equity is still relevant because the fight against inequality and prejudice has never ended. His legacy reminds us that true progress requires not only speaking out against injustice, but also working collectively to protect the vulnerable communities. My involvement in the Golden Grizzlies Pantry, Gender and Sexuality Center, and the Pre-Physician Assistant Society allows me the opportunity to promote diversity and inclusion on our campus.
We are pleased to present T. Hong with the Comerica Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. Congratulations again. Indei Fatumata Sar Sam. Yes, all right, all right. I've been working on it, yes. Before coming to OU as an international student, Fatumata attended schools in Senegal, Mali, Guinea, Tunisia, and the Ivory Coast. She says, when I arrived at Oakland University, I felt like I rediscovered myself yet again. I was welcomed into a new society with different challenges and realities, and I quickly found a family far from home. This support has been a source of inspiration and motivation to me. Fatumata became vice president of the African Student Union, where she works tirelessly to share African culture and diversity with the campus community. Dr. Kwame Saki, who serves as the advisor to the African Student Union, described our honoree as a motivated leader who strives to make students feel welcome and integrated. She wants to foster a unity among African students and does not want them isolated within their inner group. In addition to her work with ASU, Sam is a stellar student, maintaining a 3.97 GPA. Yes, yes. While working toward a Bachelor of Science in Nutrition. Fatumata also serves as a resident assistant, peer mentor, and orientation group leader here on campus. Chad Martinez, Director of Title IX and Compliance, describes her as a dedicated leader in her campus leadership roles. Martinez says her unique perspective, shaped by her international experiences, adds depth to her interactions and enhances her ability to promote interracial understanding. Now let us hear Fatumata's thoughts about her passions and convictions, as well as what it means to be honored here today.
Winning the Keeper of the Dream Award is an honor that means far more than just personal recognition. It affirms that my efforts to promote inclusivity and cultural understanding are valid and necessary. This honor has strengthened my commitment to fostering unity and mutual respect within our university and beyond. Growing up between West and North Africa, particularly in Ivory Coast and Senegal, I came to understand the importance of building bridges between cultures. This perspective has been central to my work as Vice President of the African Student Union, where I have collaborated with my peers to create a space where all students, regardless of their background, feel welcome and integrated into the university community. I am particularly proud of how we have transformed ASU events into celebrations of diversity that are open to everyone. These events aim to showcase the richness of African cultures while inviting other communities to share and celebrate their own heritages. I am most pleased with seeing our community members take joy in learning from one another and feeling safe to express themselves. This daily impact is my greatest reward. My commitment to inclusivity and intercultural understanding is inspired by mentors like Dr. Kwame Sachi, who has encouraged me to stay true to my values, and by the vision of Dr. Martin Luther King, whose ideals of equality and social justice continue to guide my work. His dream of a society where each person is valid for their humanity rather than their origin remains as relevant today as ever, particularly in a world still grappling with the division in the context of globalization.
We are pleased to present Fatoumata Sam with the Whirlpool Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. Congratulations again, Fatou. And just so that all of you know, Fatou's mom is here all the way from Senegal. Yes. We're happy to have you. Sorry about the cold weather. Aaliyah Spears. Pursuing her dream of becoming a dancer and dance educator, Aaliyah ties her artistry and commitment to social and racial justice together both on and off stage. Simply showing up for myself and my art form every day has put me in a position to break the stereotypes of women of color, being unable to pursue their passions, she says. This is pertinent in the field of dance, an art form that has traditionally been dominated by Western European aesthetics. This has caused many young dancers, especially those of color, to cease their pursuits. Aaliyah is a member of the Michigan Dance Council, part of the student leadership cohort of the National Dance Educators Organization, and the vice president of the Grizz.org Dancers Board. She also co-created a cohort of African American collegiate dancers to support and raise awareness for the Black dance community. As a student leader and an officer in the department, Aaliyah exhibits an astounding level of professionalism and is one of the students who provides the glue that holds our students together, promoting understanding among individuals from many different backgrounds, said Professor of Dance, Dr. Elizabeth Kantner. Aaliyah's community involvement reaches beyond the campus. She serves as an assistant director of the nonprofit organization Social U, which provides social interaction and community for adults with cognitive and intellectual disabilities. Greg Patterson, chair of the Department of Dance, said Aaliyah is consistently involved with other community volunteer work. For instance, teaching special needs dance classes and knitting hats for the homeless and tray favors for patients in local hospitals. Please turn your attention to the video monitor to hear more from Aaliyah.
Winning the Keeper of the Dream Award is truly an unbelievable achievement for me. From a young age, I've been fascinated by the work and legacy of Dr. King, which in turn has inspired me greatly to live with a spirit of perseverance in the face of adversity. This recognition is a confirmation that my desire to uplift and be a contributing member to society is being acknowledged. I am encouraged to know that my academic journey has the support of my community. As a young biracial woman, it has always been imperative for me to promote racial understanding in any and all doors I walk through. My entire life is built on the premise of loving people beyond differences, which is a sentiment I wish to carry with me and spread to others. I am inspired each and every day by my family to work towards breaking down cultural barriers. They have taught me the importance of being strong-willed in any and all pursuits. Their fostering of my dreams has encouraged me to be a beacon of light for others, and for that, I am eternally grateful. Dr. King's vision of equality is just as, if not more relevant today as it was in the 1950s and 60s. As our world grows increasingly complex, it is imperative to remember his vision of unifying the masses. His work stressed the importance of unity to accomplish a common goal, as he saw severe hindrance in attaining progress through separation. I am most proud of the work I am doing through my role as the Dancers Board Vice President. This position has given me the opportunity to represent and encourage diversity in the performing arts and advocate for the necessity of inclusion for all through dance, as the arts have the essential power to heal and unite.
We are pleased to present Aaliyah Spears with the Lynn and Leah McIntosh Scholarship Award. Congratulations. Mackenzie Smith. Mackenzie Smith started her school's first student congress to empower students with decision-making abilities, an effort that preceded her decision to major in political science with a specialization in courts, politics, and justice. Here at OU, Mackenzie has interned with UNPAC, a national organization advocating for youth power reforms. In this role, she educated OU students on UNPAC, built a student-led team to expand the organization on campus, and promoted democracy by helping register students to vote. Mackenzie also serves as a legislator in Student Congress, where she advocates for the campus community and represents student voices and their ideas. As a first-year assistant, core ambassador, and orientation group leader, she supports others with their college experience and helps them build connections on campus. Mackenzie's dedication and commitment to advocacy and diversity directly align with her future goals of going to law school. She has created and continues to foster an environment where everyone feels valued and empowered to amplify their voice. Mackenzie's academic advisor, Stephen Bryant, describes our honoree as one of the students who is seen all over campus due to their involvement in many different leadership roles. She truly embodies the vision Dr. King had through advocacy and service on OU's campus and beyond. At each turn, Mackenzie has grown as a leader, a scholar, and an advocate. Where others see gaps, she sees an opportunity to build a foundation. Let us turn our attention to the video monitors to hear more from Mackenzie.
The Keeper of the Dream Award means a great deal to me. It highlights the importance of students driving change on Oakland's campus. To get recognized for the work and effort we put in is incredibly meaningful. It also puts me one step closer to reaching my goal of working in politics and making a difference in my community. It is so important to keep promoting inclusion and diversity wherever you are. Advocacy is not just a personal effort, it's a collective one. When we advocate, we show that we as a community are fighters. By doing so, we inspire others to stand and fight too. With the recent outcome of the 2024 election, it is more important now than ever that young voters stay engaged and push for the changes we believe in, putting diversity and inclusion at the forefront of our efforts. I am inspired by the work and foundation laid by those who came before me, like Michelle Obama, Alexandria Cortez, Kyra Harris Baldwin, and Jasmine Corquette, who have given me a platform to stand before you today. I hope that my efforts, in turn, inspire young Black students in the same way. Dr. King will look at our progress today and be proud of how far we have come in fostering diversity and inclusion. But he will also recognize that there's more work to be done. We must remain vigilant in our efforts to combat inequalities. I couldn't have gotten here today without the support of so many here at Oakland University. Being a part of CMI has helped me find a voice in advocating for what I believe in. Working with ONSP has shown me the powerful impact we can have on students through kindness, compassion, and leadership. With my experience through UNPAC and Student Congress, it allowed me to refine my voice and create change through student leadership and involvement with Oakland's boards. I want to take a moment to thank my mother, who has been a rock of support through my journey. I do so much of this for her and for my family. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you, Mom. We are pleased to present Mackenzie Smith with the Lynn A. McIntosh Memorial Scholarship Award. Congratulations. There's a lot of emotion in this front row. It's a lot going on. I'm seeing tears and I'm seeing smiles, but this is a great achievement. Thank you, Mom. Yes, thank you. Amaya Dural. Amaya has felt what it is like to be judged solely on the color of her skin. It wasn't because I had darker colored skin, but because those around me made me feel as if I wasn't capable of accomplishing anything because of what I looked like, because of their prejudice, she explains. Amaya is now an active campus leader with a focus on supporting those around her, confidently, showing everyone that it does not matter the color of your skin or what your ethnicity is, you are capable. Majoring in clinical and diagnostic sciences with a specialization in pre-physician assistance, Amaya is in numerous leadership positions, including peer mentor in the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, first-year assistant in the First-Year Advising Center, and coordinating officer of logistics and operations in the Residence Life Association. She has also served as an orientation group leader and an admissions ambassador. In all of those roles, our honoree brings a contagious, positive energy into every space. Amaya's leadership qualities and passion for social justice resonate deeply with the legacy of Dr. King, says Annabelle Lenova, Resident Director and Residence Life Association Advisor. Mae Dennis, Assistant Director of Orientation and New Student Programs, describes her as an excellent student whose passion for DEI work is reflected in everything she does. Amaya's clinical experience as a nursing assistant and behavioral technician has further solidified her commitment to patient care and understanding the importance of diversity in healthcare settings. Now let us listen to Amaya address her goals and the honor of receiving the Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award today.
I would like to first say thank you to all of the people who believed in me and encouraged me to be in the positions that I am in today. Winning this award means that I am able to show those from diverse backgrounds that they are capable of achieving their highest goals in life, no matter what their backstory is. It's important that I work towards racial understanding, not only to eliminate the stigmas between groups, but to also actively encourage those negatively impacted by those stigmas to step outside of the barriers placed and create their intended future. Every life lost due to racial injustice, every mentee with habits encouraged by these stigmas, every minority group that feels like they aren't able to truly be themselves if they aren't with their people, and every ignorant comment heard about a particular group inspires me every day to break down racial barriers. Dr. King's vision of equality will always remain relevant in the world we live in. His vision of equal rights, race relations, and a peaceful society are all still the frameworks of current movements, laws, and plans to combat inequality. As an active student leader, I am proud of my involvement in the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, First Year Advising Center, Residence Life Association, Collegiate Black and Christian, and the Pre-Physicians Assistance Society. In everything that I do, I'm working to implement diversity and inclusion. Whether I encourage others to enter uncomfortable spaces to implement change, or I myself am the one in an uncomfortable space implementing change.
We are pleased to present Amaya Dural with the Black Alumni Chapter Association Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award.
Thank you.
Amber Harris. As a child, Amber Harris was convinced that she would pursue community service later in life. I learned community service can happen whenever and wherever you make it, she said. Here at OU, she is a peer mentor for Project Upward Bound, an orientation group leader, an admissions ambassador, and a first-year assistant in the First Year Advising Center, just to name a few. Working toward a Bachelor of Science in Health Sciences and Pre-Medical Studies, Amber serves as a health sciences grader in the School of Health Sciences and as a supplemental instruction leader in the Academic Success Center. Sarah Martin, special instructor for nutrition, said, she embodies the qualities needed to address the varied health challenges faced by diverse communities. Her commitment to understanding and advocating for inclusive health practices will help bridge gaps in care and promote equitable outcomes for all individuals. Harris is also the president of the Nu Phi chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, where she actively supports initiatives that promote diversity and inclusion. Dr. Stephanie Lee, Administrative Associate for Academic Affairs in the Office of the Provost, said through her work, she has proven herself to be a passionate advocate for diversity and inclusion, as well as a dedicated servant leader. As an orientation group leader, our honoree created a positive environment on campus, helping others feel comfortable and accepted. Amber is always ensuring others' voices are being heard. Now let's hear from Amber about her advocacy and the excitement of receiving this award.
Winning the Keeper of the Dream Scholarship is both an honor and a profound responsibility. It highlights my commitment to fostering a more diverse and inclusive environment. This award reaffirms my belief in the power of diverse voices and fuels my dedication to continue bridging divides. Promoting racial understanding is essential for a more compassionate society. Understanding each other's experiences helps eliminate prejudice and allows us to view each other as equals. I am passionate about creating spaces where individuals feel safe to share their unique stories, and I believe that through open dialogue and active listening, we can build a more inclusive world. My family, especially my mother, is my greatest source of inspiration. Her work inspires children across Metro Detroit, especially those in foster care, showing them that they have value and potential. I'm also incredibly inspired by my uncle, who works in higher education, my aunt, who leads a nonprofit organization, and my other aunt, who provides dedicated space for foster students. Seeing my family's dedication to minority students motivates me to follow in their footsteps. Dr. King's vision of equality remains as relevant as ever because the fight for justice is ongoing. His dream continues to inspire others to work towards dismantling inequalities. Today, we carry forward his vision by addressing modern forms of discrimination and working towards a society where everyone's potential can be fully realized, regardless of their background. Being an orientation group leader was one of the most rewarding experiences of my time at OU, and it stands as a role where I can actively promote diversity and inclusion. As an OGL, I had the privilege of welcoming a diverse group of students to campus and help them transition to a new phase of their lives. I was honored to be able to create a safe space for everyone, regardless of their background.
We are pleased to present Amber Harris with the Priority Health Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. Nia Matthews. Watching a video of Sandra Bland's arrest opened Nia Matthews' eyes to injustices disproportionately affecting the Black community, changing the trajectory of her life. This made me want to fight for disadvantaged people and against the systems that oppress them, she said. Ever since then, I've always tried to be an agent for change in my community. I love to raise awareness about these and similar problems by educating my peers about the racial inequalities that Americans still have to endure each and every single day. As an honors college student with a 3.8 GPA, yes, and majoring in film production, Nia is an aspiring film producer aiming to teach the complete history of America through film. On campus, our honoree serves as the president for Entrepreneurs in Action, event coordinator for the Association of Black Students, and a member of the Golden Anime Society, Women in Film, and Women in Business. She currently holds the position of Executive Board Co-Chair of the Student Activities Funding Board. She actively engages with student organizations, encouraging meaningful conversations with diverse stories and perspectives that shape the changes in our organization, said Dana Ferreira, advisor to the Student Activities Funding Board. Her natural ability to connect with individuals from all walks of life reflects a deep understanding of the importance of empathy and dialogue in promoting understanding. Nia has also served as a pre-college program tutor, a residence life programming coordinator, student Congress legislator, and a digital advancement ambassador for Oakland University Alumni Giving. Let's watch and hear more from Nia in her own words.
Winning this award means that I get to focus more on my academics and less on financing it. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity and hope to prove myself worthy of this distinguished honor. Interracial understanding promotes kindness and empathy, and it's important to me to work towards promoting it because of the harm it can cause if we don't. While we live in a society that is still trying to understand each other, we must continue to push towards greater understanding to avoid injustice and intolerance. My parents' journey inspires me to work towards breaking down cultural barriers. They foster a home environment that was rooted in respect and kindness, and I strive to implement those values in my own journey. With the country still divided on issues of race, class, and social mobility, Dr. King's vision of equality remains as relevant today as it was then. There is still more work to be done to achieve equality for all. I am most proud of the Golden Anime Society and Entrepreneurs in Action in promoting diversity and inclusion. During my time as the Golden Anime Society's president, I promoted cultural understanding between Eastern and Western cultures through Japanese anime and manga. As president of Entrepreneurs in Action, we promote financial awareness to communities that need it and have expanded our reach to a multitude of different cultures.
We are pleased to present Nia Matthews with the Oakland University Alumni Association Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award. Let's give another round of applause for all of our recipients. As you can see, our students are extraordinary in their work here and exceptional to their commitment to Dr. King and clearly deserving of this award. Our honorees have put together a few thoughts that they'd like to share with this year's scholarship sponsors. Please once again turn your attention to the video monitors to hear their message.
To the sponsors who support the Keeper of the Dream Award, I offer my deepest gratitude to you all. Thank you for going the extra mile to support the youth of today.
Thank you, Lynn A. McIntosh Memorial Scholarship.
Comerica, thank you for your support.
Thank you, Oakland University Alumni Association.
Lynn and Leah McIntosh Scholarship. Thank you.
Thank you, Whirlpool.
Priority Health, thank you.
Thank you, Oakland University Black Alumni Chapter, for your support.
Thank you, sponsors. for your investment in our future, and for the opportunity to contribute to the values this award upholds.
Thank you.
Well, I hope we warmed up now and the vibe is good and we're feeling great about coming to the 33rd Annual Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award celebration. At this time, I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing to you our keynote speaker for today. Tony Award winner, Anika Noni Rose is known around the world for having voiced Princess Tiana in Disney's The Princess and the Frog, featuring the first African-American Disney princess. The film received 3 Oscar nominations, and Rose became the youngest inductee to ever be honored as a Disney legend. She is also the author of the children's book, Princess Tiana's Perfect Plan, and is currently voicing the animated series that will soon premiere on Disney+. Yes. Our honored speaker currently serves as Afia in Mufasa, the Lion King movie. And she currently starred in the critically acclaimed revival of Uncle Vanya on Broadway alongside Steve Carell. In Netflix's most watched limited series to date, Made, Rose was nominated for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Television Movie, Limited Series, or Dramatic Special at the 2022 NAACP Image Awards. With talent to take on iconic characters, Rose starred in History Channel's adaptation of Roots as Kizzy, which garnered an NAACP Image Award nomination. On the big screen, she starred as Laurel Robinson in Dreamgirls. All right now. She won her Tony Award for Best Featured Actress in a Musical for her role in Caroline or Change, which also secured her a Lucille Lortel Award, a Theater World Award, an Obie Award, a Clarence Derwent Award, and a Drama Desk nomination. Additional Broadway credits Rose has gathered include A Raisin in the Sun, A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, and Footloose. She is a 9-time NAACP Image Award nominee, has voiced many audiobooks, and has performed sold-out concerts all over the world, including Carnegie Hall and the Vatican. Oakland University, make some noise for our keynote speaker, Ms. Anika Noni Rose.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Brownell. Thank you, President Paskovitz. Thank you, Anaya, for your beautiful song. And thank you to this woman here who is signing everything. Those of us who are not hearing impaired, I don't know how often we pay attention to this, but there is nothing more beautiful to me than watching someone sign a song. Her art in her hands should also be recognized. Good morning, scholars. Good morning, dreamers. I've been thinking quite a bit on what it means to dream, on how to hold a dream tightly enough to keep it from being sullied by the anger and fear our world is hoisting upon us, but gently enough to allow it to breathe and grow and transform. It is a tough time for dreams, but it may also be the best time for dreams. When I saw your photos, I thought, look at all of these amazing young women. When I read your bios, I thought, how are they not exhausted? How are you doing all of this? How have you already accomplished so very much? But that is because in the scheme of things, you are new. And thank God, because it seems that those who came before you are hell-bent on ruining everything. We need your new perspectives, a fresh energy. We need you and your dreams to build a new and better reality. Most times, when people think of dreams, I think they think of untenable things. And that, I think, is the way most good dreams start. I think your dream should make your soul shiver a little when you think of it. That doesn't mean it has to be huge, but it should require some effort of body and spirit. It should require faith and huge love to obtain, even if the dream itself may be small to someone else. And when you reach it, you should be able to snuggle up to it, revel in it for a bit, feed it, nurture it. And just when you feel it is complete and you are ready to get comfortable in that space, you should see something out of the corner of your eye. A small movement, a glimmer, a shimmer, a pinpoint of light. You're curious now. You glance at it and move closer. You cup it in your hands like a firefly in the twilight of summer. And you realize your dream has given birth to a new journey. And if you're brave, you follow it. You grow. I say this because so many people think you have a dream, you accomplish something, and then it's over. I think not. When I look at all you have done already, I know that you 7 women are the dream that Dr. King was speaking of, and that we are unfortunately still fighting for. You are refugees and immigrants and homegrown, and you are America. And each and every one of you knows what it is to fight, because you can't be a Black woman or a woman of color in this country and not have at least one set of brass knuckles built or tucked into your spirit. What is thrilling to me about each and every one of you is how necessary you know that you are. So many people go to work and sit at a desk and spend their whole lives not knowing or afraid of the thing that lights them up. That is a zombie life. Each of you have already chosen otherwise, and that is a win in a moment where it appears people are counting on us to be anesthetized by social media and the need for likes and shiny things. You know better. You know that the only way we can make it as a race, the human race, is to both rely on and enable each other. And when I say enable each other, I'm talking about reaching a hand out to one another when we see that it is needed. You know that the only way we will make it as a race, the human race, is to focus on what makes us the same without discarding the things that make us unique. We need to sit at each other's tables and nourish each other with our foods, our stories, and our hearts. We need to know who we are singularly and learn who we can be collectively, because only then can we shift this narrative of a singular superiority of race. Only then can we make certain that healthcare includes not only women, but also actual care. To trust that the life of the mother is important enough to save when an embryo is imperiled or wrongfully and forcibly implanted in a child. But I'm not telling you anything you don't know, Ms. Doral, Ms. Harris. You already know that the only way we will make it as a race, the human race, is to make art together and to allow our children to create art and have recess and build healthy bodies and minds through movement and the meditation that is choral singing and the mental exercise that is poetry and rap and the healing wave that is music. Because the more children have access to express themselves through art, to paint, to dance, sing, act, write their joy and pain, the less likely they are to try to express their pain with bullets. But you already know that, Miss Spears, Miss Hong, Miss Sam, and Miss Matthews. You already know that the only way we will make it as a race, the human race, is for people to feel and be seen and heard. For people to know that justice is real and attainable, that their vote counts and their lives matter, for them to trust that calling the police may save their lives and not end them. For Black women to be able to receive the same life-affirming prenatal and birthing care as their white peers. For us to know that our babies' bones are safe in the NICU. For our children to go get Skittles and make it home safely. For those who came here tired, poor, and yearning to breathe free, to be able to seek asylum without being ripped from their children and treated wretchedly, lied to and shipped from state to state, babies lying naked on the floor with aluminum foil blankets, no toothbrushes, no medical care, and not even given the dignity of a translator when they finally get to speak to someone who might help. For us to not fear a traffic stop being a death sentence. But you already know that, Miss Smith. For us to recognize that mental health care is still health care, and just as important as a physical. And that no company should be allowed to hold seniors hostage with medicinal pricing and throw them away at the end of their journey as if their steps left no marks in the sand. You all know the necessity of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You are the living embodiment of what that should be. You are brilliant, qualified, ready, able, hardworking, Black and Asian women, and nothing has been given to you, not even this scholarship. You have earned it all. Let no one tell you differently, and that you don't belong at a seat at the head of a table. I am in a profession that is not just built on dreams, it's built on a machine that feeds and crushes them at will. I operate in a space where I, and many like me, have been told over and over, sometimes in one day, not you. Not even necessarily because of anything I can control, my height, my skin tone, my whatever. The work that I get to do is my reason. But that part of my dream that is a barrage of no's and spirit crushing, you have to have a strong constitution to get through. Yesterday, when I left the city of dreams to come here, the air was so thick that on some days you can barely see the Hollywood sign. There are many areas currently in Los Angeles where neither the air nor the water is safe. I know you know a little about that here. When I return, I will still have my professional dreams, but my dream has also shifted to include being able to breathe without my inhaler and being able to help fortify some of the families whose dreams now include finding new shelter and dressing their children. We've all seen the devastation on television. It is unreal, it is sad, and it is horrifying. And even in the coverage, it is unfair. Most of what is seen on the news is the loss of mansions and celebrity homes, and make no mistake, that is awful. It is awful. What is also awful is the amount of people who aren't rich, who aren't privileged, who have been watering their land for generations and will never be able to rebuild, who lost family members and all of their memories, and are lucky if their stories get told, who are now being preyed upon by predatory landlords and real estate developers and tax adjusters and faulty insurance and. One of the oldest Black neighborhoods in Los Angeles is now dust. They were Black and brown and a community, culture, a history, and it too is gone. This is not a competition. This is a disparity. In his I Have a Dream speech, Dr. King said, "We refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity in this nation. And so we've come to cash this check, a check that will give us, upon demand, the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. There is no time to engage in the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism. Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksands of racial injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of this moment. The year was 1963, and here we are. This is why it is important to see your faces here today, because it is important to have people from all corners of life to lift and change our futures, to empower our children when they look up and see themselves in you, to broaden the scope of the children and adults who don't look like you, to understand the stories of the people you will be serving, because make no mistake, every one of you has chosen a path of service. You will be our artists, our lawyers, our doctors, our nourishment. Each and every one of you will hold a form of justice in your hands, and that in itself is inspiring. Now, as inspired as I am by you, I don't pretend to know all that you want to do with your dreams, how you want to shape the world. I'm still learning and shape-shifting the what and the hows of my own. Last week, I had to perform a concert in the midst of asthma and going from a friend's house to a hotel to another hotel and the stress of all that is going on in LA. And I felt weird about publicizing this performance. But then I realized that it may actually bring some joy to someone who needed it. And maybe I could even build awareness for a family that needed assistance at the same time. So I talked about how I felt in my post, and a follower quoted back to me something I wrote that spoke to him. I quote myself. How corny. We create and we hope to be able to shift the air with what we do, even when we ourselves are struggling. I am so grateful to him for mirroring that back to me because it taught me a little about where my dream lives now for me. It was never singular. Well, for some, maybe it is, but for me, it is cellular. The need I have to make art, to move someone to think or feel, or to shift their consciousness. I haven't done a concert series in about 10 years, and with everything going on, I was highly stressed and nervous about this one. And I got on stage, and I made a few mistakes, and I got very upset with myself. Anybody here a Virgo? Okay, so y'all know how that went. I kept going, but I, who wrote a whole book for children, for me, on releasing perfectionism, beat myself up the entire night unable to give myself a modicum of grace until the next evening. But when I did, when I was finally able to do that, the level of joy and catharsis and freedom I was able to be a part of, singing on that stage, not as a character, but as my whole self, was something I didn't even realize that I needed, that I didn't know that I missed, and I missed it deeply while chasing something else. I don't say this to exalt myself, but to say that love should always be a piece of your dream, a big piece. You have to love it. Whatever you choose, you must love it in some way, or it will not be sustainable. Or you won't be able to give to your clients, patients, students, children, partners, the world, or yourself. But not only that, you have to be healthy enough to be able to receive love. I cannot express this enough. Please put your oxygen mask on first before helping others. Please, as you step into your dream of chasing and making, get therapy. Try it. Even if you think you're fine, I'm fine, as you down your 6th coffee and your 3rd donut. Find a therapist and tell your story, your joys and sadnesses, to someone who is qualified to assist you in navigating your journey, in shedding generational trauma. Love yourself enough for this, my Black, African, and Asian American sisters. Love yourself enough for this gift that is self-care. Try it before you need it. I promise you, you will not regret it. There is no stigma. It is for you. Make good friends and nourish your friendships. They don't sustain themselves without effort once you are out of school and don't see each other every day. If you don't mind me saying, in your constant state of hustle, I remember those bios, don't forget that one definition of dream is to pass time in reverie or inaction. Inaction. Make time to be still, to sit, to breathe, to meditate, to read a frivolous book, to drink some tea, to actually dream, like sleep. I don't think y'all know about that. Sleep. Do not underestimate the necessity of rest so that you may rebuild. And please promise me not to give up on your dreams or deny yourself space for romantic love, and not to give up on romantic love for your dreams. Both of these things can happen. And when it is right, it will sustain you, not diminish you. You are now thinking, Miss Anika, girl, this has nothing to do with Dr. King's dream. But stick with me, because Dr. King had quite a bit to say about love. And I quote, "One of the great problems of history is that the concepts of love and power have usually been contrasted as opposites, polar opposites, so that love is identified with a resignation of power and power with a denial of love. What is needed is a realization that power without love is reckless and abusive, and that love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power, at its best, is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice, at its best, is love correcting everything that stands against love. In order to fully step into your power, into your dreams, you must know how to love. You must recognize it, implement it, know it, show it, foster it, and give it, not just to others, but also to yourselves. Learn to acknowledge when you mess up. and learn to give yourself some grace. Do not be afraid to love fully. In doing so, you will be better prepared to share yourself and utilize yourself and your dreams to shift the air and therefore the world. For make no mistake, you are the keepers of the dream, and I cannot wait to see who you become.
Oakland University, another round of applause for our keynote speaker, Noni Rose. So we're so grateful and thankful that you joined us here today and for those powerful words about love and resilience and acknowledgement of self-care. Thank you kindly. We do have a few moments remaining, and we'd like to take the opportunity to address a few questions from the audience that you may have of Ms. Rose. So there have been microphones placed at the two center aisles to my immediate left and right. And it looks like we may have about 10 minutes. So even if 50 of you step up, we're gonna stay on time. And so please do not be upset with me when I cut the line, because we will have to cut the line in respect for Ms. Rose's time. So at this time, if you have some questions, I'm going to ask that you come to the two microphones placed in the center aisles, and we'll address our questions.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I'm a communications major with a theater minor, and it's one of my dreams to be like voice acting and doing like a lot of things that you are. So I just wondered, do you have any advice on how to get started or just like any words of encouragement?
My advice is to finish school.
This May?
My advice is to read as much as you can read, because there will be things that you're asked to do, places that you are asked to be a part of in your work that you will never get to go to. So get all that information. Travel as far as you can in your mind until you can travel on a plane to all the places you want to go to. And keep yourself open for information. There's no one you can't learn from. No one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. My name is Tujer. I was a Keeper of the Dream last year. I'm also a musical theater major. And I wanted to ask you, what is your advice for young, aspiring actors, performers of color as they navigate this like industry that is so predominantly ruled by white people?
My advice is not to care. Do not care.
Yeah.
You are special because of who you are, and you will be wanted because of who you are. You don't need to be something else. You don't need to worry about what somebody else is doing. You need to come as the best version of you that you can be, and that is what will be recognized.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Ms. Rose. My name is Michael Ashton Samuel. I use he, they pronouns, and I am a music tech major and a jazz studies minor. My question to you as not only a Black person, but a musician yourself, what can I do as a musician myself to not always be so hard on myself?
Girl, that's life. You just say he and they, and I went straight to something else, and forgive me for that. That's life. That's life. We just gotta find ways to release it. When we feel like we're gonna beat ourselves up, do you have a good friend? Do you have a partner who you can vent with?
Yes, she's with me right now.
Do it. Vent. Take good walks. I'm a good mental health walker. If my stuff is off, people know, my friends used to call me Forrest. I will be walking. But also make a plan for yourself that allows you at the beginning of the day to greet the day fresh, that allows you at the end of the day to release the things that are on your mind. If you have a whole lot of things on your mind, like I sometimes have insomnia, I've had it for many, many years. I can fall asleep fine, but around 2, 3, I'm like, and then I feel nuts, right? Put a pad by your bed. Write down everything write it. Don't put it in your phone. Don't open your phone. Don't let that light hit your face. Write down what's on your mind. Release that so that you can go back to sleep. And you know anything on that pad is going to be there in the morning. It'll be there. Life will be here. Give the time for yourself.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, sir. I'm sorry.
Good afternoon.
Hi.
My name is Antonio Marcus. I'm here with Delta Sigma Theta's Salute to Young Heroes program. My question to you is, speaking back to Dr. King's dream that we are undoubtedly still fighting, how do you, given your lived intersecting experiences being both Black and a woman, continue in that fight? And what would you say to those who don't feel they'll make a difference?
I mean, I feel like every day that we get up and we continue to move forward and we don't let the world beat us down, we are continuing that fight. Sometimes it is that small. And what was the second part of that question?
What would you say to those who don't feel they'll make a difference in that fight?
Everybody makes a difference. Everybody makes a difference. You don't always know how. It doesn't have to be something huge. You know, sometimes just saying hello to somebody makes a difference. You see a lot of homeless people in Los Angeles, right? I don't know what the situation is here.
Same thing.
It is what I try to do when I see homeless people. I may not always have money to give you. I don't always have cash. So many of us don't have cash anymore. It makes it very difficult, right? But also, you can't give out all your money all the time, right? Because you have people and things and stuff. But what you can do is smile. You can say hello. You can say, I'm sorry, I can't help you today. You can give them good wishes. And I find this is something small. Many people just want to be recognized, just want you to know they're there, just want to be seen as human, because it is a very inhumane thing to be without a roof over your head and to be considered less than society. That's a very small thing, a hello. Smiling when somebody says hello to you and saying hello back, that is a small thing. You can change someone's day. If someone acts a fool, instead of jumping and acting a fool with them, and trust me, I have a tight temper, I know you'd be like, woo! Take a moment. What are they dealing with today? We don't know. Those are little things that we can do to change the world. Taking a moment to breathe before we respond. We can all change the world.
Thank you.
I feel short from where this is.
Who are you talking to? Do you see this here?
I'm Adriana Panu. I'm a first-year creative writing major. And so given my age, I'm often seen as a young writer, which is often defined as my biggest setback. So I guess my question is, what was your journey throughout the publishing process? Like, what was your motivation between writing and publishing?
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know who S.E. Hinton was?
I do not believe I do.
Have you read The Outsiders?
Yes, I have.
Did you love that book?
I did.
Is it a classic?
Yes.
Do you know that she wrote it at 17?
I did not.
So there's your biggest handicap. It's bunk. You just keep writing. You can only do what you're here to do now. You can only represent the years that you have now. So you don't think of that as a handicap. You think of that as where you are. And that's the moment that you're living in. And then you continue to get experience. Hopefully you'll continue to better your craft. And you keep learning. And everybody does. If you're not learning, you're dead or you're boring. My journey to writing is somewhat magical. this is a long story. I don't want to take anybody's stuff away from them. when I told my mother that I had written this children's book, she found out when everybody else found out, which was on the Today Show, because my mother can't hold water. So I had to hold that in for 3 years between the offer of the contract and the book. And she said to me, "Oh, Anika, you always wanted to write. You always wanted to write a book." And I had forgotten that dream. I didn't remember that. I got to this publishing journey because I did a series on my Instagram during COVID, which is still here. I don't know why we say that, don't play games. It's still here. If you don't feel well today, put a mask on. Do not come breathe on me. It's still here. During quarantine, I started something called Bedtime Stories for the Littles. And I would read children's books, and I would sing a song at the end because I wanted kids to know, yes, we've been in pajamas all day, but it is also time for bed. And to give them something they understood and something that was gentle in a time that wasn't very gentle. And Disney Publishing saw my stories and contacted me and said, "Have you ever wanted to write a children's book? Are you interested in that?" And I said, "Absolutely." And that's how it started. And it was not, my plan was not to write a Tiana book. I had my own thoughts about it, and they were like, "Actually, we would love for you to write a Tiana book," which was wild because that's their IP. And that never happens, you know? So that's how that came about. And I've always been a storyteller. I love to tell stories, whether orally or written down. And you just keep going. 17 years old, S.E. Hinton. Her show is on Broadway right now. The movie was fantastic. You know the book, even though you didn't know her name. Don't pay that any mind. Keep going.
Thank you so much. Hi.
Hi.
My name is Destiny, and I'm actually a psychology major. So when it comes to mental health and everything, I tend to give others advice without looking at myself and taking care of myself. So my question is, what do you do for self-care every day, to get you through the day?
I take very long walks. I have tried to cut back immensely on sugars. Mm-hmm. That is difficult.
Yeah.
I try to be honest with myself, as honest as I would be with someone else. I'm usually kinder to other people. Mm-hmm. I think that the most important things that we can do is to be aware of ourselves, to really pay attention to ourselves and to take stock of where we are and how we're feeling and to act on that. If you are feeling in a space of doldrums, you're a psychology major. Very many people deal with high functioning depression. Mm-hmm. Don't just keep pushing. Do something for yourself in that space that makes you feel better. I think it's very important for us to self-evaluate. That doesn't mean you have to diagnose yourself with something, but to evaluate. See how you feel each day so that you're not running yourself headlong into a wall when you knew that your foot was off that brake.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna finish these lines. So no, please don't come up here asking something somebody else asked. Please don't come up here with a statement. Come up here with a question. Make it count. Don't just come up here saying hi.
Time is of the essence. Okay, a lot of pressure, but my name is Guadalupe. I'm finishing up my bachelor's in social work here. I'm a former Keeper of the Dream recipient. And right now, I understand I have a dream, and I relate to you in that. I work a lot with kids in autism spectrum or cognitively impaired, and I'm busy and tired all the time. How do you make time in your busy day to do things like you want to do, like art and poetry and being with friends? And
that's I can't answer for you because I don't know how your life moves. But what I can tell you is that it's deeply important, and I think you know that, and that's why you asked me. So maybe if you're tired, you need to evaluate how you are. Are you working out? Okay. Well, maybe you should be working out so that way you'll sleep more deeply. Maybe you should go to bed earlier. That's hard. I'm a night owl. I don't have to be out, but I'm gonna be up. So try going to bed earlier. When I go to bed at 9:30 or 10, which sounds really puritanical, I used to feel like I was missing something, like potentially I'm missing something by going to bed. You're not missing nothing. You got 85,000 stations on your TV, 84,000 are playing the same thing. You are missing nothing. It's all gonna be repeated. Even the news cycle is going to be repeated. Go to bed, get your rest, work out, tire your body out so that your mind can rest. And just make your schedule. If you have to schedule in your day an hour for a workout, an hour for friends, what's gonna happen with that hour? It's fine. You can take that hour or 30 minutes if that's how you have to start. It's being deliberate. And I sometimes feel like I don't have time for anything. It's being deliberate. You have to make it for yourself.
Hello, Dreamer. Hi. So as you know, I'm a film major, and this year I've been trying to apply to a bunch of internships and like fellowships for film. And I was just wondering if you had any tips or knew anything that could like help me stand out on my application or the the interview process or anything like that.
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I think the thing that's going to make you stand out is the uniqueness of what you are doing, really. It's what you are doing that is specific to you that is going to make you stand out. You're not going to put a pink unicorn on it when you hand it in and make a difference. It's really just going to be you. And being very clear and knowledgeable about the things that you want to do and how you want to do it, making sure that you state it clearly and letting people see who you are in that space.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, my name is Morgan, and I'm an elementary education major. So hearing and seeing you had a children's book really brought joy to my heart. What was your favorite part of the writing process and writing this book and getting it out there?
I loved everything about it. I didn't love everything. I didn't love being edited, but didn't love it. But I do have an amazing editor, and so even that became something that was something to look forward to after a certain period of time. I love creating a world. And even though I was creating a world within a world that was already there, I was still able to make a story that was wholly mine. Nobody was like, so this is what we'd like you to do. They were like, no, what do you want? I was like, this is what I want. I want Tiana to get out that kitchen. I want to see her in the world. I want you to know that she's traveled. And I made my outline and I did it. And it was very exciting to me, each step. It was picking the illustrator and seeing things come to life was absolutely thrilling. And then when that first cover came, I think I squealed. It's so beautiful. I don't have nothing to do with the pictures except telling you how I want them to be. But that illustrator also gets to do things that they want within your story, which will bring it to life in a way that maybe you didn't think about it. The whole process is exhilarating to me, and thinking about these, and then seeing the babies when they get the book and seeing their little faces, it's thrilling. I really love little people. I really love them. I think they are maniacs, and they are sweet, and they are tyrants, and they are funny, and they are smarter than we give them credit for. And I wanted to talk to them like they have brain cells that work. So I don't change any words in there. I use words that children may not know. And within the language of the book, I teach them what that word is. I had a little boy who's 4 years old. This is actually my editor's kid. She said, I want you to know that my child has been going around at 4 telling people that they have je ne sais quoi. I love it. I love it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Praise the Lord, saints. My name is Archbishop Mrs. Allen B. Harris. I came from a family that I was the only one that went all the way to master's degree. Now, my older sister did finally catch up with me with a bachelor's degree. But the thing about it is that We both were engineers for Ford and General Motors. And I went to the doctor one day, and he says, "You're not going to have any kids." I said, "Well, why would he tell me that?" And lo and behold, right after that, I had 6 stair steps.
Ooh.
Now, I was very proud of every one of my stair steps. I never left one in the room to put in the garbage pail. But when my stair steps got towers, I looked back and I said, "I want to tell you about health." And that I'm lost because they won't stay still long enough for me to tell them about what I have learned about health. And what the doctors didn't know, that Dr. God knew about health, which gave me those 6 children. And I'm trying to find out, Miss Rose, how do you get these next generation that we're sending to college, or they went themselves, or they got scholarships? I never got a scholarship. I paid for my own. How do we get these ones sitting with us to look back and look at the older people? I'm 78 years old. How do they look back and say, "You can teach me something. Let me listen to you"? It's nice that you come to the college, but I believe I want to begin a podcast that can get them to listen to how to take care of their bodies, their high blood pressure and all of that. But how do I get them to listen?
I think you just told me the answer.
Excuse me,
I think you just told me the answer. You're going to start your podcast. And perhaps you find someone, a young person, who's interested also in doing that, and you partner with them on your podcast. So you have both ends of the spectrum. And they seem very open to listening, because, I'm not blessed to be 75 or 78, did you say?
78.
78. But I am certainly not 22. and they're listening.
I don't drive. I'm at home all day. How do I get a young person to teach me what I really don't know about computers?
Well,
and I hardly know about cell phones.
I'm going to ask you to talk to Dr. Ben L. Because I believe you are in a place of learning in which you could potentially take a class here and figure those things out and make some connections and have some people help you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Rose.
Look at that.
God
Ask
bless
and
you.
Shall receive.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello. My name is Taylor Tompkins. I'm a former recipient of this award. And honestly, my question for you is, where does your passion from singing comes from for you? Singing was a dream I forgot, so.
Oh. You too young to be talking about you forgot.
I know.
You got so much time ahead of you. How? It lives right here. You don't have to go buy it. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. You can sit in your car and realize that dream. I'm just saying.
It's true.
Okay. I started singing before I started acting. I guess I started doing everything together at the same time in one performance. I was 13 years old, and my school did the musical Fame. And my mom had that music, so I knew it. And like 13-year-olds, I was like, I can do this. But I didn't know that I could do that. I just felt like I could. And I auditioned, and I didn't get the role that I auditioned for. But that person thankfully had work study and had to drop out, and I got the role, and I'll take it. And I stood on that stage, and I was not yet a confident actor, but I could sing. And I felt like, probably because I played saxophone for like 6 years, I already knew how to breathe. But I felt like nothing I had done before came close to that feeling of being on that stage and raising my voice. Not track, not swimming, not soccer, not tennis, not saxophone. And I dropped everything else. Probably not best. Probably should have kept a couple things. But I dropped it because I knew, I felt it in that moment. And so it felt to me, in some ways, divine. My parents were shocked. They were supposed to record the performance, never hit record. sat in the audience like this, did not know what was happening. I think that you know that the answer is inside of you. I don't know what you're afraid of, and I'm not here to find that in front of this whole room of people. But I am here to say that your passion is greater than your fear. And you can start to address that in your shower, in your car, at karaoke. Everybody else got a drink. You don't have to have a drink. You can practice. It's there, and it's easy. And you know what? You don't have to make an album. You don't have to be great. What you have to do is feel good. That's what singing is about, feeling good. Never know. Somebody else might hear you and feel good, whether it's great or not. Or no one else might hear you, but you have nourished yourself. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Denitra Gibson, and I'm an
outside.
acting major. I just want to know, who is your biggest inspiration?
Ooh. Oh. Well, that's hard. Are you talking about in this field?
In life.
In life. My biggest inspiration was my grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2010, and I still cannot talk about her and how I loved her without my throat getting real tight. She was remarkable. She was a special education teacher. She never tried to get me to be anything other than what I wanted to be in this space, in this field, which is something for a woman who was born in the 20s in Tallahassee, Florida. She was just amazing. She was a beautiful, dark-skinned woman. She had a dimple. She started her own sports team in Connecticut, all Black women, the Tigerettes. They played baseball, they played basketball, they played volleyball. They had a field named after them in the 1940s in Connecticut. She made the world move for her. And not enough people know.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Hi. My name is Erica. I'm a school counselor. I'm a clinical mental health therapist. I'm a wife, a mom, all those things. But I'm also a dreamer. What advice would you give to the person who realizes that they have to maybe modify or reduce their dreams because they're so busy?
I think we all have to modify and reduce things sometimes. Or maybe we shouldn't say reduce. Maybe we should just say modify. You know, if you put, forgive me, because I'm going to make an analogy that has nothing to do with how I see you. It's okay. But if you put rats in a maze, and you throw some cheese in there, and then you drop a door down, those rats are going to find another way. We have to be that way. We have to be that persistent. We have to find another way. We have to make another way. And it may not be in the time period that we set for ourselves. I really thought I was going to have a Grammy by the time I was 21. I still don't have a Grammy. But thank you. Thank you for your faith. But I'm also not working with the goal of receiving a Grammy. My point is that we do have dreams and things that we want to do. Lots of things come up in the meantime, and you may find that you run into something else that is more fulfilling even than the thing that you first thought that you wanted to do. You may find that you're ending up to do something and you're like, this is not for me, and you have to make a shift that way. But there's always another door. When we really, really want something, I know we are Black women, we are hardworking, we are tired. But we can find time. We have the ability. The way we have the ability to like stretch a dollar, we have the ability to stretch time. Right. We can. It's hard. But if you want it, you will find it. Okay. And sometimes you find it will find you. Okay. So I say, it's okay to modify. Just keep moving, keep going, keep searching, keep trying. The universe hears you. that dream of writing a book that I had forgotten about, the universe didn't forget.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kaylin Spencer. I'm a pre-law major studying English and philosophy, and this is my roommate, Carrington Patterson. She's a bio major. Even though we heard a question like this that was similar to ours, we were wondering from a different perspective, like instead of your grandmother just being your only like role in your life that inspired you, who would you say as like Black young influential writers or people that we can follow to help guide our like further our education kind of? Because we don't really have people that we look up to in like particular that we found to be an aspiration.
Well, that's very interesting. And I think that really the only way to do that, if you're looking for young writers to inspire, you're talking about like novelists? Or are you talking about?
Not in a sense of young. I just mean from your perspective, who did you learn from when you were younger that guided you, that kind of showed you like, oh, I want to do this or I want to do that?
I don't know about the I want to do or I want to do because I was never somebody who wanted to be told what to do. So I didn't read how-to books. I just didn't want, I was like, I'll figure it out. Sometimes to my detriment, but I'll figure it out. But read Octavia Butler. Read James Baldwin. Read Zora Neale Hurston. Read these people who walked before you because it seems like a very different time. But then you read it and you're like, oh yeah, I know that. I'm looking at it right now. I honestly just say to just keep reading. I'm a big reader. I read everything. Truly, I love to read. I'm gonna read a cop book. I'm gonna read murder mysteries. I'm gonna read psychological thriller. I'm gonna read everything. Historical fiction. I love it. So I really, truly just say keep reading. If you want to know a little bit about the man who's being put in as in charge of our medical, I don't even know what his position is right now because I've tried to ignore it. If you want to learn a bit about RFK Jr., read about the book, I think it's called The Kennedys and Their Women. Oh, no, it's called Ask Not. Read a book called Ask Not. That'll teach you some stuff. For real. For real. Read the book. Just keep reading. Go into the bookstore, look for things that you find interesting, browse, because we don't browse enough, right? We don't really do bookstores anymore. I love a bookstore because a cover can grab you. You never know what the recommendation is going to be. I do hate that we have our own particular section in the bookstore, like that's all we're going to want to read. But go look at that, look at everything. Read A Wrinkle in Time. It's awesome. Don't watch the movie for the information. Read the book because the book is going to give you something different. I mean, this is not probably exquisitely helpful and not necessarily what you wanted to hear, but I say read everything.
No, it makes so much sense, actually. It validated what I needed to know.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You all have Miss Anika Rose to thank for that time. Yes. So this is our conclusion to the 33rd Annual Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award celebration. And Miss Anika Noni Rose, on behalf of the students, faculty, and staff here at Oakland University, we're deeply grateful for your time and presence here with us today. I want to thank everyone for your support of this historic Keeper of the Dream Scholarship celebration through your presence today, your scholarship gifts, and all that you do to continue the journey that Dr. King began so many years ago. I'd like to thank this year's sponsors for your support of the Keeper of the Dream Scholarship Award celebration. A round of applause, please. I'd also like to extend a thank you to the Keeper of the Dream Committee and the Selection Committee. Another round of applause, please. I trust that we have learned some things today. We have been inspired today by the words that have come before us. Again, words have power, words have meaning. We talked at the very beginning of this session, I talked about had you say love and truth. And those things are meaningful for us, that we learn to love instead of to hate, that we allow truth to guide us even when it is painfully obvious that those things need to be communicated, that those words that we communicate to each other have value, but the ones that we say to ourselves are most important. They resonate with us. They allow us to dream. They allow us to grow. So please continue to nurture yourselves. Please continue to develop yourselves. Please to continue to embark on the dream that Dr. King left for us, that we would take up the mantle and we would continue to be keepers of the dream. I'm Omar Brownell. I am the Senior Director for the Center for Multicultural Initiatives, and I truly thank you for your time with us today. Be well.